All right, so now the fourth sign, you're just an option to him, is that all he gives you is excuses and no corrections, all right? What I mean by that is this. The man who has determined that you are a priority is a man who more than likely sees a future with you. And because he sees his future with you, when you bring issues to his attention, he's going to want to find ways to make things right. You know how they say men look for ways to fix things, all right? It is a natural occurrence in us, but specifically when we're talking about relationships, that only occurs when we're actually serious about the woman. And we've prioritized this relationship in our life. So when you're getting the opposite of that, excuse after excuse after excuses, because again, you know, what's coming to mind is if in this scenario, in this example, if I'm dealing with multiple women and let's say I'm dating 5 women and you're one of the 5 clearly, and you bring this issue my way. To me, it's like if you're not number one and none of them are number one, to have to pour all this energy and investment and trying to fix this and correct this, like for what? It's so much easier to either move on to the next or to leave you alone for right now while I go deal with the one who's not giving me any stress. And then once you come around, I hate to say it, but it just happens. What happens to a lot of women is that once the man pulls away some, it's almost like she forgets that he was the violation. she forgets what he was doing that was making her unhappy. And now she switches into, I need his attention back. I don't want to lose this possible opportunity. I want the validation back. So now she switches into the role of trying to make things work. So to him, it's like, oh, okay, so you're back, but now you're acting right. And acting right in this scenario is you're not giving me any trouble anymore. You've allowed the issue to go away and you're accepting my shortcomings because you want to be able to have my attention again. And so, yes, he'll go back to giving you that attention, enjoying it until something else, you'll come out of your daze, realize this joke is still doing this foolishness, right? Do it again. And for some people, it's rinse and repeat. It's this ongoing cycle of you see he's not giving you what you need. You say, I'm done, or he says, I'm not dealing with this, rather than trying to fix it. He separates. You start getting nervous and antsy because that attention, or maybe you start getting lonely, you start missing him, whatever the case may be. You go back and it's just over and over and over again. So at the end of the day, you got to recognize that when he's unwilling to make corrections, it's just not that important to him. All right, it's not a priority to him. But here's what another one of those hitting my spirit moments. Listen, there are some men, I said this in a different video, where there's a lot of good guys that care and don't want to be the bad guy. And because of this, even though they're not serious, even though you're not necessarily a priority to them, when you bring an issue to them, they'll still want to try to smooth it over, depending on what it is. Some things, I think if it's asking a lot of them, they'll probably won't even bother with it. But if it's minor, something they can just adjust, they will. And that's why it's very important. As I said, don't just take one sign and run with it to say, oh, I'm just an option to him, I'm not a priority. Don't just run with one sign to assume you are a priority. Don't just say, oh, well, he corrected this issue, right? Well, now this is a little confusing. I was going to say, because I do think if he's constantly correcting all the issues, then how can we not give him the benefit of the doubt that he is serious? So I'll say this. Here's a perfect example that does make perfect sense. He's correcting the issues, but when you bring up commitment, he's still dodging it. So that's a scenario that shows you, okay, I like you, or I'm a good enough guy that I care about your feelings and I want to make things right with you. I want to smooth things out with you. But I'm still unwilling to take it to the level that you want. That still says to you, okay, we don't need to be moving forward here. Let's leave it alone. Don't hold on to but he fixes these other issues as, well, maybe he'll come around to wanting something serious. That typically does not work well for women. I'm sure some of you have seen situations that the woman ends up getting the man. Like there's a saying where some people believe men don't marry the woman they have the most feelings for, they're in love with. They marry the woman who's around when they're ready to settle down. All right? And I'm not necessarily disagreeing with that theory. I think people are misunderstanding why that happens. So, one, even if he marries the woman that's around when he's ready to settle down, that doesn't mean he's ready or willing to be the man that that woman needs. It doesn't mean that he will ever pour into her in the way that she's looking for. So in the vast majority of cases, if not all of those cases, that situation ends up in disaster anyway. That woman may get him and initially feel great that she finally got the man, but soon she will wake up from that and realize, what the hell did I get myself into, and be miserable and then want a divorce. All right? Also understand that the idea that he's not marrying the woman that he's in love with or has the most feelings for is not because in most situations he does not want to marry that woman. It's because in many situations, either when he was dealing with that woman, he may not have been fully ready or mature enough for that relationship, or that woman has run from him because of her own fears, lack of healing, or whatever the case may be. Or one more example, both of them had a lack of maturity and understanding, made some mistakes, things went left. And so now, because he's not in a position to get her back in the moment, or maybe thinks it's not going to work out, he figures, okay, I'm ready to settle down. My number one option is not available to me. Let me find somebody. And that's still a recipe for disaster. It's still not going to work out well. So don't let that be your thinking that if I just stick around long enough, right, it'll work out. No, it won't be worth it. It won't be worth it. It'll be a huge mistake. You are better off moving on. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. He won't let you go, but that doesn't mean he loves you. Or it could mean he loves you. Could be a lot of different reasons why this man refuses to either leave you or leave you alone. Why maybe you've tried to push him out the way, but he just keeps coming back over and over. Or why he won't even allow you to close the door on him because he's begging, he's pleading, he's crying, he's doing whatever it takes to hold on to you for